G'day guys, how's it going? Alright, what we're doing is a video on two products. The first one is the Soto Pocket Torch XT and the Soto gas adapter. So we use this to fill this because it's a refillable lighter. So essentially, this is a fancy one of those. Here's the packaging that it's come in. Little fill adapter. Now, the Soto I got off eBay for $33.50 and the fill adapter was $21.40. That's here in Australia, that's Australian dollars. That was delivered, the whole kit and caboodle. So the first thing that, that intrigued me about this, there's been a couple of different models of this where you'd put a refillable lighter, an actual disposable lighter like that would fit into it and then you'd be able to operate it that way. But this now holds the gas itself, it's its own entity or whatever you want to call it. But the brilliant thing about this is it has that bloody telescopic thing. So clearly what that's going to achieve for you is it's going to keep you away from the flame. So if you've got our big lighter, you can't beat a big lighter. I mean, they're just simple. It just works. But if you're into your gadgets, do you need this? No, you don't need it. You'll get away with one of those, and that's what I've done for many years. Never let me bloody down. But I thought that is a pretty cool looking little gadget. And having that feature of having that away, I thought was pretty good. The other thing, obviously, is that it has a jet burner thing on it, so it's wind resistance. It obviously operates exactly the same whether it's in or out. Pretty bloody cool, eh? So to fill these up, you can actually use one of those or one of those, obviously by using this adapter. Now I think Soto is it's a Japanese company. I believe this is all made in Japan, whether that makes any bloody difference or not. So what we'll do first is, I'll tell you, there's nothing much to this except for it has a threader in there. We thread it onto one of these, which I'm going to show you doing it. This part here is just a guard. You bend that out of the way and then you push that onto the bottom, which we'll go through that. And then you just flick that up when you're not using it so you don't accidentally, break that bit there off. Alright, so I'm going to now bring you down and we'll run through all the little bits and pieces on that. Rightio guys, so here it is. So it has a plastic body, don't know how tough that is. The telescopic part is metal and it's quite firm, so it's not just gonna fall apart, so you've got to pull that out and then push that in. The button part has a safety feature, so that obviously if you're carrying this in your pack or whatever, it's not going to just leak gas. You've got to push that in, so if I use my thumb to push that in and then come down. Oh, now of course I'm behind the camera, I can't bloody do it. There you go. And I have noticed that it's not, sometimes you get some dud fires. And of course if I pull that out, away you go. Now they have this little thing on here which means that you can do that because this can get hot depending on how long you're holding it on for, so that you can use that to pull it in and out. That's basically it for this. Now we do have the filler, so you can see the fluid in there, so you can see how much you've got left. On the back, that's where we refill it up, and then you've also got this, which is the flame. I've got it on full at the moment. Now it's really difficult to get in that, so I've got this little screwdriver here, which if I put that in there, I can then turn that around. So now it's going to be on the lowest. There's not a huge difference, and so that's how big it is. And then if we change it to full bore, which is what I would leave it on, that's the difference. So there is a difference, it's just not a huge difference. And you notice that, see how it, now I'm going to let it go now. There's a bit of a residual burn. Don't know, it's no problem, it's just interesting how it does that. So in there you can see the jet burner, if you want to, yeah, that's what you'd call it. So that's pretty much it, guys. So what we'll do now is I'll show you filling it up. Actually, guys, before we fill this up, I've got the firebox sitting here. This is just an example of why this would be good. You know, you can stick this. Let me show you. So I've just stuck a whole heap of wood in there. In the middle of that is a fire lighter, which I can't get to with one of those. Let's have a shot with this thing. Rightio, guys, let's see if we can get down. The hell. There we go, simple as that. So that was way easier than, you know, obviously trying to get this bloody down there. Now, just to keep, I would normally like this from underneath. I would pull this tray out and then I could light it from underneath. But that was just an example. Rightio, so while that's bloody going, I might just get these gas cylinders away. So, obviously, we'll use this one first. So with one of these, all you got to do is grab that, turn that on there, you hear it go shh, and then once it's on, it's done. Remember, move that out of the way. Grab our Soto thing. Can you see what I'm doing? Put that over there, and that just fills it up. Simple as that. Now for one of these, it's a little bit different, so we'll just take this off here. Jesus, the roaring fire. So to fill one of these, you need those adapters. Now, whether you want one of these types of adapters or one of these type of adapters. So what we'll do, basically whack that on there. So I've got that like that. Screw that on there, fold that out of the way. Can you see that? Stick it on there, and we're filling. Danger, danger, danger! So now, just to show you that it's no bloody different, but if you've got one of, you know, you might have one of those other ones. Whack that on there. So I've got that like that. Same deal. Push that. Can you see that? Push that on there. And there you go. We're filling up. So there you go. We can, I don't know if you can see that, but I can see that that's nearly to the top. I can't even see it that way. But yeah, so there you go. Simple as. So obviously when I go camping, I'm on the motorbike or whatever, I always take one of these. So being able to fill up my lighter with that, that's an added bonus. Granted, I normally have about 2 of these, one in the tank bag, there's one in my first aid kit, and there's maybe one in my pocket. So the likeliness of that. But it is a handy little thing, I thought. Pretty cool. Rightio, what is next? I don't think there's anything next. I think I've bloody showed you the lot. Cool. So I know Wild Earth sells them. That's here in Australia. I think you'd be able to get them on Amazon. You know, just put in Soto Pocket Torch XT, and you'll find it. I did think that this refill this little bit here. I mean, yeah, $21.40 for that tiny little thing is just bloody ridiculous. You know, $33.50. I mean, it is a lot of money, but you know, I can see the value in that. But you know, to be able to fill this up, obviously, you know, you can get those canisters that you can just straight away just put it on there and fill it up. Now, you can't just use straight propane. You have to use a butane or butane propane mix. It has all the instructions in there on that. But anyway, there you go, guys. I thought you might have found that bloody interesting. There you go. All right, that's it. I'm out. Cool. Keep on riding, guys, and if you ain't riding, just keep on keeping on.